This is Anker 3800. As you can see, it's a magnetic lock made by Anker, but with some cooperation with MIWA. This lock features 4 dimple pins on the bottom, and on top there are 4 magnetic sliders which are actuated by the magnets on top of the key. In each row there's just one magnet, like here. This is just one magnetic filler. Nothing here. Here's a magnet. Nothing here. Here's a magnet. Here's a magnet. Nothing in here. Usually the sliders also have just one magnet, but the sliders can have 2 magnets when they are mastered. Unlike the, say, MIWA 83 EC, these magnets in the key pull the sliders in, they don't repel the slider, which also allows more different orientations of the magnets. So, say not only you have just north up or south up, but you can have the magnet oriented sideways, which gives us more combinations for the lock to work with. So the first step in attacking this lock is mapping the sliders. Here you just check which orientation gives the strongest feedback. I hear the strongest clicks in this orientation of the pick. The second slider has a magnet on the right side, so nothing like that, nothing like that. Nice clicks. So it's south up with the pick. The third slider is the same orientation as the first one, and the fourth slider is north up with a pick. So now we can start playing with the lock. So I'm going for the dimple pins first. So one is springy, 2 is bound, nice click. Got a counter rotation from number 3. Number 4 is springy, so I guess I have to recheck the rest of the pins. So back to number 3, got a small core rotation. Click from number 4, but lost something. So got 3 back. Small click from 2. Nice click and nice core rotation from 1. So 1 is springy, 2 is springy, 3 is springy, 4 is springy. So at this point we should be ready for the magnetic pins, or for the magnetic sliders. So number 2 seems to be bound, so I will go for that. That was a south up. Okay, now it's clicking, but we've lost some dimple pins, so let's check them. Small click from 1, small click from 2, 3 is springy, 4 is springy. Another click from 1 and got a co-rotation, so let's recheck the slider number 2. Yeah, I hear him clicking. So now let's check. Number 1 is bound. Number 4 is bound, so let's try and set those. So slowly counter-rotating. Not very nice click, but 1 is free. Come on. Add some more clicks, so let's recheck the dimple pins. One seems to be okay, 2 seems to be okay, 3 is okay. We lost 4. Nice click, and the rest seems to be okay. So let's recheck the pins. Nothing on 1. 4 is clicking. 2 is clicking. So let's go for number 1. Come on. Again, some nasty click. What did we lose this time? 1 seems okay, 2 seems okay, 3 seems okay, 4 seems okay. So let's check. 1 is clicking, 4 is clicking, 2 is clicking, so hopefully it's just number 3. And usually this one is the biggest troublemaker, so let's see. I'm afraid we lost something at this point. Most probably number 1. Nope, number 1 is free, so what's the problem? So that was number 2. So one is okay, 2 is okay, 3 is okay, 4 is okay. So no dimple pins were lost in the process. 2 is free. One is not. 4 is free. So let's try insert number 1 again. So interesting. Just to make sure. Yeah, the input pin seems okay. So let's see. And we are open. The click from number 3 is almost inaudible. As I say, it's the biggest troublemaker here. So as you can see, the lock is picked. So now let's try and gut it. So I'm afraid there's going to be another embarrassing moment with this nasty clip. Come on. Oh boy, how I hate these things. Great. So it's kind of interesting. There's a special washer behind the core. Also, the diameter of the core is non-standard, so none of the followers that I have is able to fit there. So I'm forced to do the gutting in somewhat non-orthodox way. So there are some interesting security pins in this lock. Most of the specimens I saw in other videos are just standards, but not in here. Come on. It's some combination of spool and T-pin. except for the number 2, which is somewhat more like standard. And the last one is again this interesting spool. Oh boy. I managed to lose the key pins. I will first, drop the sliders and then trying to find which is which. So the sliders were retained in the core by the key, otherwise they are pushed out by a spring. This spring is very delicate. Come on. Okay. And there is another washer and the front. Plus there's some sort of anti-drill element protecting the sliders. It was right here. Here are the chambers for the sliders. As you can see, these pieces of metal, 2 of them are actually made as stops for the spring. So the slider directions are alternating. Here are the main chambers, so let's see which pin is which. So, okay. This is not right. This is. Come on. Okay, and the last one is here. Come on. So, okay. So that was number 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here you can see the wording. It's quite nasty as far as those dimple pins are concerned, because you have to pretty much perfectly catch the top of the pin, otherwise the side of the wording which will stop the flag, and you'll have a hard time setting the pin. Well, now let's check these drivers. Here you can see, hopefully, on the top there's some sort of serration or T-pin-like structure on the top of this spool, and this is the pin number 2. It has got again this T-pin-like top, but there's this spike on the bottom, and I believe it's to prevent overlifting attacks against this lock, because with this spike the pins cannot be pushed far enough to leave the core completely, so it's not possible to use this kind of attack. Here's the slider. This side protrudes out of the core. It's made from some kind of metal, so it will nicely hang there, and here you can see the magnet right here. Here should be, or here could be another, but this slider is not mastered. None of them are actually, so it's like that. Also in the Bible, not sure how well visible it is, are, let's say, some metal inserts with holes into which the sliders sketch, so these holes prevent the core from turning because the slider is forced inside there. So let me arrange the close-up. Okay, let's put those sliders this way. So here you can see the dimple pins. The key pins are standard. The drivers are a combination of a spool with a serrated top, let's say. Also interesting is the driver number 2 with this spike on the bottom that probably prevents overlifting the pin stack. Here are the sliders with their very, very delicate springs. Last, there's this anti-drill element. So here's detail of the key. That's the magnetic side. on the dimple side. Here's the detail of the wording. As I said, that groove where the dimple pins sit is quite nasty to navigate. And here's the core. Hopefully, yeah, now you can see those cutouts where the sliders protrude in and prevent the rotation of the core. So yeah, that was the Anker 3800. Thanks for watching and goodbye.